are definitely in the midst of March Madness, but I'm not talking basketball, clearly. I'm talking about tariffs and products like car sales. And for Duane Paddock, this month has actually been a grand slam. His family-owned dealership, Paddock Chevrolet in Buffalo, New York, has actually seen its best sales in 13 years just this month. Duane, who has owned his dealership now for more than 30 years, is not only hopeful for the future of his business, but he's optimistic about Trump's tariffs. That's why he says he's putting politics aside and putting faith in the president. Duane Paddock joins me now. So you are hopeful about these tariffs and loving your hot sales month, clearly, Duane. But what are customers telling you?
Well, there's fear in the marketplace. There's no question. And we saw it from day one in March. And you could see the consumers and the floor traffic was accelerating every day. And yes, we ended up 32% above year-over-year sales of March this year. But the great news is for consumers is for a period of time, we're going to have over 600 vehicles that aren't going to be affected by tariffs as we go forward, hopefully within that time period. And we don't know what's going to happen at 4 o'clock, but there'll be some easing of the tariffs where we feel that we can continue to do business. Automobile dealers are resilient. We're out here to service consumers, and the last thing we want to do is charge them more for an automobile. So we'll lobby the manufacturers, and we'll do our part with the Trump administration to try to keep the prices as low as possible and do our fair share to help the consumers.
That was actually my follow-up question, because I was reading that some dealers are choosing to hike prices. You've explained what you are going to do. Tell me why you're taking that approach.
Well, let's go back to COVID for a second. I never charged a penny over sticker for any vehicle that I've sold during that period. My position is that we're here to take care of consumers. I'm not looking to overcharge them for product just because the opportunity is there. And I want my consumers to know that I'm going to treat them fair today, and I'm going to treat them fair when maybe I could increase my prices. So we're in this business for the long term. And we want our customers to know they can have faith when purchasing a vehicle from Paddock Chevrolet that they're going to be taken care of on price every day, regardless of what's going on in the world.
All right. So what is it? 55% of GM's lineup is manufactured abroad, including a lot in Mexico and Canada. So if prices do rise, do you think customers will flock to the models of cars made here in the U.S., like the Chevy Colorado pickup, versus models manufactured abroad like the Trailblazer?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I had a meeting with my team this morning and we talked about that. But we don't know what General Motors is going to do. They could take an approach where whatever the number is, that they divide it amongst all vehicle lines to soften the hit on vehicles that aren't manufactured in the United States. Listen, I know that I'm going to have to take a hit on my margin. I can't pass the tire increase over to the consumer. And I'm hoping that General Motors looks at it with the same eyes. And, we're all going to have to take a little hit on all the vehicles. So, it's yet to be seen. I have confidence in General Motors to do the right thing. And I'm not a political person. I've got to hope that what our president is doing in the long run is going to be the best thing for our country. Do I like it right now? I don't like uncertainty. But at the same time, whether President Trump was a Democrat or a Republican, I have to have faith in my president, and that's what I choose to do.
Got it. So, Trump talks about a big plan, hopefully at some point, to have everything made in America. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s and 80s, and I had a lot of family work for General Motors, and those jobs had been lost. And it's a great opportunity for people to get back with manufacturing and have an opportunity to have a great middle-class life and increase their compensation over the course of time. Do I think all manufacturing can come back to the United States? Probably not. But if we can get the lion's share back, I think it would be wonderful for the United States of America. I love the fact that we build engines in the town of Tonawanda, not 10 minutes from my store. And we help those individuals with their needs in purchasing cars. So I'm proud of the fact we have an engine plant in the town of Tonawanda building engines right here in America.
So glad you decided to talk to us, Duane. You give a different perspective, and I respect that. Duane Paddock, thank you so much.